Hello guys, my name is Vita and I'm live streaming specially for you from Ukraine, and today you've got me all for 2 hours. Our topic today is war update, day 333rd. So now for newbies to our channel who just joined us, I would like to share some short small video about myself that you guys know who I am and what I'm doing here actually.
Ukrainian women, it's like 5 in 1. It's perfect mothers, perfect wives, perfect cookers, perfect lovers, perfect housekeepers, and perfect friends. Every man is a hunter, and every woman is a target. So every hunter wants to get his target. And every target at the end of the day would like to be chased and caught. Believe me, you will be happy with her. This lady, when she gets you, trust me, she will keep you with both hands and never let you go. Believe me, guys, the lady who is really interested in you and who really likes you never will ask you for money, for gifts, or for presents from the early beginning of your relations. Why women look for foreign husband? Because women tired of laziness and non-responsibility of our men.
If we are talking about spontaneous sex on the first date, it also can be great for sure if both of you feel the magic and chemistry, but only from physiological side. Regarding psychology, guys, in majority of cases, chemistry is one of the smallest reasons why she may want you just on the first date. So remember, date is always for Ukrainian women is kind of exhibition. She will look at you, she will listen at you, smell you even, and evaluate you to make a general conclusion about your future destiny. So guys, before we get started to discuss our topic, the latest update, I would like to say thanks once again from all of us at ukrainiandating.tv. So thanks a lot. And you know that we would like to share our growth goal for 2023, which is actually to hit 40,000 subscribers. So just guys, the main question is keep helping us and we're gonna keep helping you. And we've got exciting news in 2023 as well, as we know that you like watching our live streams here on YouTube, but some of you, due to your life schedule, due to your work, and preferences, sometimes you prefer to listen while you drive instead. So from now on, you can hear and see our amazing, beautiful live streamers, our ladies, in your favorite formats, video, podcasts, and even articles. So the choice is all yours at ukrainiandating.ca. And guys, as always, who would like to talk to me now by live cam share, if you want to talk to me face to face here, simply type this Streamyard link into your browser. I will show you that, and you're gonna find that as well in the description under this video. But first of all, you need to get verified. You remember, you can do that simply doing 2 steps. In the description, again, you can find the information how to do that, and under the rest of our videos as well. So guys, don't forget, you need to type your full name and your face should be clearly seen in front of the camera, that the girl feels secure and safe while talking to you. So as always, please prepare your questions. Feel free to ask me any type of questions, right? As always. And when I will share information which I prepared for you specially today, so then I will be happy to answer them all. Okay, guys. So, war update, day 333rd. 333, right? Very easy to remember. We are coming closer to 1-year anniversary. So let's see what happened today, guys. Want to tell hello, everyone, to every of our viewer today. And thanks for joining me today, for spending your time always with me. So hopefully you guys today enjoy your weekends and everything you can enjoy. Actually everything what weekends can give every person: rest, time for yourself, finally enough sleep, maybe good food, and some nice and pleasant emotions. So let's talk briefly today about main information I prepared for you, and then I will be ready to answer all your questions regarding war update, or up to your choice, up to your desire, any other topic you are interested in. So today, guys, we have holiday. Ukraine celebrate today Conciliarity Day. So the Day of Conciliarity of Ukraine is celebrated every year here on January 22nd. And on this day, we remember two main events of equal meaning in Ukrainian history. So the first one is the declaration of independence of the Ukrainian People's Republic in 1918, and the act of unification of Ukrainian lands in exactly 1 year, 1919. So what is actually conciliarity for us, for Ukrainians? We call that, in Ukrainian, this word we called соборность. The unity of the land of Ukraine is the spiritual unity of all the territories that historically belong to our Ukrainian people, and the unity and integrity of the general territory of the whole Ukraine, right? The inviolability of its borders. Conciliarity means that the Ukraine can create its own single national power as the people themselves create, and as if they are free, sovereign, democratic, legal, and social. So the war with Russia this year proves once again that for Ukrainians, the idea of соборность, conciliarity, was and has become actually a basic national value and one of the key elements in our self-confidence, our self-identification. And in view of the rethinking success of ours against the Russian bulk. So on the practical plane, conciliarity for Ukrainians means the deoccupation of all the territories occupied by the enemy and leaving our borders as they were at 1991. So actually to get them back as they were in 1991. So the Ukrainian people, torn apart for centuries, united on their land in a single Ukrainian state. Transnistria left the Russian Empire, and Western Ukraine, the Austro-Hungarian Empire. So the act of reunification, the union of two Ukraines, was the kind of symbolic sign, of the desire for unity, because there were no cohesion in the leadership of the country at that time. And that was actually a bit, guys, about our historical identity, the facts of which I guess can help you to understand deeply maybe the Ukrainian national spirit and mentality more than before, because this holiday is actually very important for us, and especially now. Not so many people actually celebrated that many years ago, but right now, due to the war, actually war helped our nation to be united, together, and to feel, as the whole part, not like every individual separately, but one and the whole. So we'll see what's gonna happen with that after war, but hopefully that this process will be growing more and more. And now, guys, let's get back to a short and the latest war update. So some thesis, some main topics. Nothing extraordinary happened since yesterday when we met, but some issues, some points I really would like to mention, though I'm sure some of you probably already find across the information online, but let me talk about that a little bit. So what tell Morawiecki? Ukraine and Europe will win this war with or without Germany. The main thesis, what he actually announced after Ramstein. And that was told in regard that rejection of Germany to give us Leopards 2. So what more does Germany need to open its eyes and start acting according to the potential of the German state? After all, they do not actually have to activate 100% of their resources. 30 would be enough, even 10 would be already kind of progress, in this way. But above all, Berlin should not to weaken or sabotage the actions of other countries. We mentioned that yesterday, right? They are not going to make any obstacles. So Polish Prime Minister Mateusz Morawiecki said so. He emphasizes on that, and by the way, he expressed this opinion that the Germany fell into its own trap, and since for many years it's pursued a policy of reapproachment with Russia, hoping to appease the Russian bear with generous contracts. So I try to weight my words, he said, but I will say it bluntly. Ukraine and Europe will win this war with or without Germany. However, it depends on Germany whether they want to join the mission to stop Russian barbarism or whether they will passively watch it, from a side, dooming themselves to be written not on that side of history. So that was the main idea, and I guess quite strong and brave words of a wise politician. I would say even bravo. So what else happened? White House advises Ukraine to postpone planned counter-offensive. So far, we plan something really serious. We don't have too much, ordinary people. We don't have too much information and details, where and how and when, which directions, but still they announced that something is getting ready. So high-ranking US officials are advising Ukraine right now to wait to launch a large-scale offensive against Russian forces until it receives the last shipment of American weapons and its troops undergo appropriate training. Yeah, because that will be really very important counteroffensive. So US negotiations with Ukraine regarding any counteroffensive take place in the context of ensuring that the Ukrainians first spend sufficient time training on the latest US supplied weaponry. Absolutely reasonably, I guess. Absolutely reasonable, I guess, because nobody wants to waste very expensive and high technology equipment and weaponry. So we need to use them wisely. That's, of course, not just shooting in the air like Russians do. And at the same time, on condition of anonymity, some official also said that United States is sticking to its decision not to provide M1 Abrams tanks to Ukraine because they are expensive and really difficult to maintain them. So you remember this argument between America and Germany. So you first guys give Abrams and then we give Leopards. So far we are in that a little bit stuck at that moment. So due to all facts, spring and early summer can really become a defining period of the war. And we all, Ukrainians, and I believe European countries too, we all understand that. So according to the information of intelligence, in February and March, the main battles will be fought in the east of Ukraine. The occupiers will try to take control of Kupiansk, Svatova, and Kremenaya. That's Kharkiv direction, as some of you knows if you follow the map, guys. So these three cities will be very important for us, so we'll see. And actually, if this big Russian offensive planned for this time fails, it will be finally the collapse of the Russian Federation and Putin. So expert says. So this decisive moment in the war actually will be in spring and beginning of summer. And if they lose, so collapse of Russia and Putin will follow. So we hope all of us, almost all of us, at least followers of Ukraine and people who are at the side of Ukraine, we hope for that. So we mentioned a few times before about possible and planned big offensive from the side of Belarus. You remember, guys, and I told you that really probably most Ukrainian people really panicking and really afraid of that. And every Telegram channel, every resource now is shouting about this coming offensive, but our government, political authorities and military authorities start to a little bit to calm down population, and raising the topic of this threat of an attack from Belarus is psychological. They say it's just psychological pressure on the Russian Federation. So, sorry, guys. So actually kind of propaganda to make people run. What's wrong, guys? So to make people run, and so far they say that we know, of course, everything about the dictator Lukashenko, about the regime in Belarus, but there are objective things which we always follow. So the number of the group, the readiness of forces and means, the amount of this weaponry at the borders, right? And sorry, guys. And other points that actually allows us to claim that as of today, the threat from Belarus is of a full-scale ground operation. There is no participation on the Russian side. So they pretend can be some provocations, some steps. Of course, they given the land, given the weapon to Russia. So they actually participate, but hiddenly, kind of secret. Not secret for all of us, but not so obvious, right? And according to him, if the situation will change, there will be relevant information. I mean, to ordinary people. Even in the event of a change in the situation, Ukraine is ready and has worked out all scenarios. I know that all the borderline from the side of Belarus is completely mined, full of mines. There are a lot of swamps, which actually can make really big problem to cross. And actually a lot of our guys and weapon trained, and they tried different scenarios. So we hope they are ready, just in case. So important statements for last few days. A new attack on Kiev from Belarus is unlikely, as well as active fighting, by the way, in the south of Ukraine. The invaders will defend Crimea. Donetsk and Lugansk regions are waiting for absolutely heavy and decisive battles that we mentioned. In February, March, the Russians will try to take control of Kupiansk, Svatovo, Kremenaya in the direction of Kharkiv region. The main battlefield for now, it's obvious, will be in Donbass, and this is confirmed by the scale of battles for Bakhmut and Solidar, as you know. They are still fighting. And when spring and the beginning of summer are behind us, that perhaps we can start talking about the end of the war. But if you ask authorities, will the war end in 2023? They give an answer like, we don't look so far now, so we need to wait. That's understandable. And in the Russian Federation, almost everything is ready for the new wave of mobilization. We talked about that earlier as well. This will allow the Russian Federation to form additional battalions in each regiment. And if there were three or four before, so will be probably 4, 5, or we'll see how much forces they're gonna collect. So the Russian Federation has a shortage right now of high precision missiles, and they will be enough for 2-3 massive strikes with a number of no more than 80 missiles. The last strike, you remember, guys, consisted of less than 30 missiles, something like that. So and we all know they keep producing rockets, not in that amount, but still they are capable. Still they are capable, and of course our civilian and energetical infrastructure is under big danger, I guess. So also very important to mention that there are big disagreements right now within the Russian leadership. So Gerasimov was appointed, as a main general, main leader, and Prigozhin is being tried to be removed because we discussed it with you as well. So he start to gain too much high position in society, and seems Putin start to see some danger in him, in his personality. So we'll see. Maybe they will eat each other there, and our mission will be easier in this way. So also, Western authorities said that Putin, you all know that probably he's sick and has some serious diseases, and he's being treated by the best Western doctors, by the way. That is why they say he is still alive, because if he would be treated by Russians, everything would end much faster. So, what else I wanted to mention? Actually, what thinks Great Britain? Great Britain doubts the ability of terrorist country to ensure too big expansion, because British intelligence believes that Shoigu's plans to collect. He announced actually that they plan to collect 1.5 million soldiers in next 3 years. So what that actually tells us? It demonstrates that the Russian Federation intends to continue creating a military threat for many years, even after the end of the war in Ukraine. And we don't know only for Ukraine or for the rest closest, nearest European countries. So in Russia, most likely, as British spout says, there will be some difficulties with the personnel and equipment for the planned expansions, note the scouts. And by the way, as people tell from Russia, these imprisoned people, they like almost nobody left to be mobilized, because they really took a lot of people. Some categories, of course, cannot be taken to the war, right, due to really serious crimes, or probably being I don't know if that can make an obstacle for them, but still they say this category of people is getting really reduced much, and not so many chance to take a lot of them in the future. But interesting to mention, probably Vyacheslav Volodin. He's the head of the Russian State Duma, and he started to threaten NATO countries with the nuclear weapons again, and called it as a disaster that will destroy them. I mean, NATO countries. So the quote from Volodin: "Arming the Kiev regime with offensive weapons will lead to a global disaster. If Washington and NATO countries supply Ukraine with weapons that it will use to carry out attacks on peaceful cities and attempt to capture our territories, which it threatens, we will retaliate with more powerful weapons." So, given the technological superiority of Russian weapons, foreign politicians who make such decisions need to understand that this could end in a global tragedy that would destroy their countries. So, attention. Yeah, the argument that nuclear powers have not used weapons of mass destruction in local conflicts before is insolvent. So, because the states have not faced a situation where the safety of their citizens and the territorial integrity of their country was under threat. Very interesting speech, interesting proclamation, I would say. So, they keep threatening the whole world. So, who knows? If they win in this war, who knows what they decide to do and for what they are actually ready. So, background for this proclamation: like Russia engaged in threats and speculations concerning the use of nuclear weapons at the time when it was losing significant parts of Ukrainian territory during successful Ukrainian counter-offensive operations in which we made actually in 2022. So the Kremlin renewed its threats in early 2023. You know, they will keep telling that during 2022, and the whole world was in panic, and they were discussing the possibility of nuclear strike, but seems talking. So let them talk so far. Actually, he told that on January 19th, at the eve of the latest Rammstein meeting. So we'll see. And guys, to end up our discussion, actually that was the main point I would like to mention. I would like to mention that we held the defense so far. We successfully advanced in some directions, in some regions, and interesting numbers. From September to December, the Russians lost about 48,000 only in dead. So plus twice, 3 times as many wounded. So you can count. Ukrainians crushed at least 140,000 occupiers in 3 months. So in the first 15 days of January, only 9,000 Russians were killed. So now finally the whole world believes and invests in our victory. Thanks God and thanks to this whole world. And we want, of course, to thank you for every help of all the countries who are with us in this war, who support us, and who actually realizes the importance to stop this evil. So thanks, guys, for your kind attention. Hopefully, for those who still didn't have a chance to find this information by yourself, that was useful and interesting. And now I'm ready to answer all your questions. Let's see what kind of questions you prepared for me. Let me get back to comments. Hello to everyone once again. No, sorry, guys. I wanted to mention as well. You know, Boris Johnson, he visited today Kyiv, and he visited Bucha and Borodyanka, the most, scary places in Kiev region, which suffered a lot from Russian army. So I would like to share with you some video, and I guess will be pleasant for you to watch that.
Thank you very much. Thank you for all your help. It's been really fantastic. You shouldn't have bothered. Oh dear. I'm too honoured. You do me too much honour, Mr. President. You do me too much honour. You do me too much honour. It is
to see you, Boris.
It is amazing to see you.
Welcome.
How are you? Very, very good. Very, very good. Great to see you. It's an absolute honour to be here again.
Honor for us.
You're too kind and you're too generous to time on a Sunday. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you. Oh my God, you're all here. I can't believe it. How are you?
Welcome back, sir.
Thank you very, very much. Terrible. I was to Bucha and Borodyanka, and we drove past Hostomel, so I saw some of the forest filled with bivouacs and
the results of attacks.
Yeah,
Nice.
Appalling, and it's still going on every day. I will do whatever I can.
Thank you so much.
I really will. Anyway, thank you. We decided that I wanted to do it in a way that was have a minimum.
Thank you so much. Thank you that you support us.
Yeah, the capital schemes they want to pass to you, and partly it's some ideas that I have to you, and I'm also here because I think you're right to understand.
I also want to share with you
In London,
So, guys, I don't know what emotions it raised in you, but for me, that's absolutely, smile and some really warm emotions. I don't know. I adore Boris Johnson. When I look at him, I always smile. He's so positive person. He's so, in his behavior, he's so simple and pleasant. Absolutely, and he's a little bit chaotic style of clothes, of his hairstyle, absolutely incredible. I mean, in a good way. For me, that's like a meeting of two reasonable people, of two wise people, civilized people, how they talk, how they communicate, the manners, the way they talk and look at each other. Yeah, I don't know, that's for me, that's really really great, great emotions. And I forgot because I promised you yesterday. You remember I mentioned that Sumy Oblast were severely attacked, not by rockets, but it was absolutely huge shelling. We got 115 incoming strikes to the nearest villages, absolutely severe, absolutely just to civilian infrastructure. And I told you, I mentioned that the guy, teenager, was injured. Now he's in hospital, and nothing, he doesn't have any danger for his life right now. But actually, I want to show you, I promised you yesterday, a few photos which are results of this yesterday huge shelling when this guy was wounded. So you can see, guys, this is just private house, nothing more. Just somebody's yard. You see the size of this hole, that's huge. Absolutely. Absolutely normal, peaceful village. No army, no weaponry, just nothing. So people who didn't manage to hide were wounded, and unfortunately this young guy. I had some more photos, but I didn't want to show you. The cow in this yard was the cow with a small baby calf, if I'm not mistaken. They were killed, unfortunately. So, what else? Let me see if I prepared. Yeah, I wanted to entertain you a little bit due to planned Belarus attack. So, they keep training all the time, and they like in Soviet Union, this Moscow and Belarus keep having this style of demonstration, of performances, to perform their mighty, their power in front of the president or something. And so I want you just to smile and to have like a couple of minutes of funny moments.
خطوبة 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 कितने दीवाने मेरे कितने दीवानों में.
So, guys, it's just kind of anecdote, kind of really funny video. This is fresh video of their training, and they're showing how they're well trained to authorities to show the results of their training. I don't know, for me, that really looks like you come into circus. All these movements. Of course, music was appropriate thanks to the guy who found the appropriate music and put that on that video. But really, these jumpings and strange, like capoeira, some kind of capoeira. So that makes me laugh. Hopefully you had funny moments too. So now, guys, that's it. What I wanted to share with you. That was a big problem really for me today to load this information due to lack of internet. But thanks God, you see, I'm with you and I'm ready to answer all your questions, guys. Hello once again. Hello once again. Let me see whom we have. Gregory, hello, good evening. Yeah, wonderful Sunday, wonderful Sunday. We were a little bit more lucky today with electricity than usually, but guys, trust me, that's something incredible with internet. By the way, as well, I read yesterday how people absolutely arguing with mobile operators specifically in our region, because seems like the situation here with a mobile connection and with the quality of internet is, like one of the worst all over Ukraine. So people tell they are leaving Sumy Oblast, they are travel to Kharkiv. Just imagine Kharkiv and Dnipro, which are suffering from incoming rocket hits constantly and shelling, and like a lot of infrastructure really destroyed there, and absolutely perfect internet. Kharkiv, Dnipro Oblast, absolutely perfect internet. When people come back to Sumy Oblast, internet just lay down. You cannot even see these strikes for, lines for antenna. So people start to call to operator, leaving some complaints, asking to do something with that. Because first of all, we don't have electricity like 18, 20 hours a day. So out of 24, you can just imagine. And the mobile connection doesn't work. Absolutely. So people cannot work, people cannot get information, people cannot, like students, like kids cannot study, even if it's a daylight, but you can read something, you can send some home task made, but you cannot do anything with that. So unfortunately, we'll see. People start to refer to all citizens of Sumy Oblast to start to make complaints that they can bring here some power banks, some batteries, maybe some generators, just for these specific, mobile operators, these constructions. So we'll see. But in the rest, yeah, we are fine. It's +1 today, quite warm, a little bit more electricity. I'm with you in time, so what we need more, right? Tracy, hello. How you feel? How is your cough, Tracy? How is your sickness? Ark, hello, nice to see you today. Rebel Transmissions, hi, thanks for joining. Hello. What? Hello, Rebel. Rebel, it seems from what I have found out that Ukraine ladies expect more out of Western men, and they need to be almost perfect than dating a Ukrainian lady. Probably to some extent you are right, especially if we talk, guys, let's see the truth. The ladies who had bad experience with Ukrainian men, not maybe one, not maybe single bad experience, but second and third and maybe more, who knows. Some girls, some women can be married once, twice, 3 times, no matter, or have at least not, if even not officially married, but can have long-term relationships, which we think like not legal marriage, but still, if you live together, split your budget and everything. So if the lady had constant negative experience, then of course she will look to the side of Western guys. And some girls who really don't want to stay in Ukraine due to absolutely different reasons. Somebody is dreaming about Europe and European lifestyle, including America, of course, right? Somebody just like mentality, somebody like climate, somebody looking for financial stability, somebody doesn't have here nothing to be chained with in Ukraine, like maybe no parents, no kids, no, accommodation or stable job, whatever reasons. But anyway, you should understand, mostly, in most cases, bad reasons and bad experience here push our ladies to look to the side of, to the West side and to American side, to the side of foreign countries, actually, because Happy lady who has here good job, good apartment, maybe her own business, her good man, good relationship, or even let's say even if she's divorced, but her marriage was happy, something went wrong. People just stop loving each other. Maybe decide they're more friends than lovers, but she doesn't have this negativity inside of her. So when people want to change something, when they are not satisfied with something what they have right now or from their past experience. So of course then, if the lady had lazy, ignorant, non-responsible, constantly drunk and hanging around guy next to her, of course, she has an image in her mind that she need much better man. Then she start looking forums, talk to some successful ladies who are already abroad, who built already successful marriage. And in this case, of course, girls who had successful marriages, which I believe more than unfortunate, so they share, of course, good, good instructions, good points. Like Western men are more careful, they are more attentive, they are more family oriented, they can help you in the kitchen, they can clean the house together with you, they can spend much more time with family. Of course, they earn better, they're more responsible because they understand if they have family they should provide that. So expectations are higher, of course, and that will work not only with the Western man, that will work with every future experience. That's how psychology works. If you had something bad in past, your expectations for the future relationships or future job position or future life always will be better, right? So you will expect much more and something better than before. So that's reasonable, of course. And we know as well, as I'm not talking that 100% of Ukrainian ladies are beautiful and perfect wives and housewives and moms and lovers. Let's face the truth. That's not possible for 100%. I would say a lot of, many, much more than in Europe, probably, yes, but far from all, of course. The same story, I believe, is in Western guys. So you don't have guys, people who uh, lazy or non-responsible or treat their wives cruelly or domestic violence or maybe just working, forgetting about wife and kids. These stories all over the world. But the percentage, of course, of positiveness is much higher there. So the expectations, of course, is higher. So if she see the man she likes visually, right, or start to date online, so start relationship, is kind of the same like she has here in Ukraine, she will be much more disappointed because she expected more from foreign guy, right? So that's why actually your statement is almost true, almost correct. I would say like this. Oh, Gregory, you have a day off. So, guys, what are you doing? I told you at the beginning of the live stream, I hope all of you have a nice weekend and really enjoy it. Not just, oh, who needs sleeping, just sleeping, but maybe some extra emotions, some plans, some special meetings or something. What? Overslept. That's good. That's good. Missed about an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. Gregory, get a rooster. I will send so you won't oversleep. Yeah, you can just set up an alarm on your phone, right? Don't think the neighbors would appreciate that. Yeah. People can be angry when the dog is barking constantly. My dogs sometimes coming too close to the fence of my neighbor, and especially small dogs, they like to bark, and they can bark for a long time. Of course, I try to make them silent, but I understand neighbors when while working in the garden shouldn't be happy listening to their wow wow constantly. Tracy, you aren't coming down with the cold, are you, Vita? You mean the weather? No, the weather is still fine. +1. Quite okay. Not sunny, very gloomy. Very gloomy. Sorry, like this. But much better. No frost, no real cold or something like that. Jacob, hello, hello. Vincent, hello. Thanks for joining. But good. The more disagreements in their leadership, the more divided they will be. Exactly. More divide worse strategies. Yeah, they will be busy. They will be busy fighting with each other, trying to get some leadership, and some votes probably for the future, some points. But that will be easier for us because when the nation is united, then can't be won. As actually our ex-president advisor told, he was fired. By the way, not fired. He left himself because he told he told on public absolutely stupid things about anti-aircraft system which shoot rocket in Dnipro. You remember? So he actually applied for firing, and he was fired. But he keeps working. He keeps telling people the information, sharing information, explaining what's going on. And yesterday again, he actually told the phrase like kind of there is a chance that Ukraine won't win. And again, this phrase was out of context, and Russian propaganda started to spread it everywhere. Oh my God, again, new scandal. But he explained, when you have war in the country, war is such a thing that actually the single thing, the only thing which demands full attention, full involvement, full investments, and full efforts and power and energy. So everything for 100%. But as he see now, some conflicts, some arguments again started between political forces, between governmental authorities, between ordinary people who start to argue with each other about anything, like I had some fight on Facebook with one lady from Sumy Oblast about if kids should start offline studying in the middle of February. So we actually got kind of Q&A, some questionnaire in which we should answer if they agree for that or not. So actually we should bring kids to school. They would stay there by school schedule. But if the air raid siren sound, we are parents obliged, not desirably, we obliged to come within 10 minutes, to pick up kids from school. So no shelter at school due to this demand, right? How they can imagine people can come within 10 minutes. Personally, I live very far from school. Now we are on online studying, but like if we go to school, we live very far. It will take me much more than 10 minutes. And I have two kids, one in another school, college, and another one in another school. The distance between these two educational establishments, at least 10 kilometers, at least. So when air raid siren sounds, where I should go, where I should drive, whom I should firstly pick up, whom I love more, who is more important, or how I should divide myself into two parts. So that's absolutely incredible. People working, people can be sick, people can be busy, whatever. What for? To risk with the kids, especially knowing these idiots shooting schools, kindergartens, libraries, hospitals, mentally insane asylums, orphanages, museums, cultural establishments. What for? Plus, add here electricity problems. Why they should go there not having electricity? Absolutely. Which absolutely means no mobile connection. So probably even if the child will call to mom, he won't be able to reach mom or dad, no matter. So what's the idiotism? And of course I said I'm categorically against that. And the lady was for that pupils start studying offline because she is living in more safe area and she is absolutely sure that that's enough to stay at home. Kids getting stupid, and they need finally to start studying offline. I was furious. And yeah, so that was like a real fight, because she started to offend me. Then finally I understand that the person is sick, and I said, I wish you everything what you told me, just coming back to you. That's it. I will not make my mouth dirty to offend you the same. Like, I'm not going to go to the same level where you are. So that means this, shitty communication between people. Somebody is arguing about electricity, why neighbor has electricity and I don't have electricity. So some situations, routine situations, which start make people think different things, not only war, especially in more calm regions. In some regions, by the way, yesterday I talked to my friend from Kherson, and she was living for a couple of weeks until she was getting her new passport in Kryvyi Rih. And actually, the Kryvyi Rih lady, she started to say really awful things. Like their local people start to get tired from people who moved from hot zones, from hot spots. And this, of course, I couldn't understand. So if you're tired, go to Kherson and stay there, and then you won't be tired. And from what you personally tired? Somebody bring you these people to your apartment and make you to host them, to feed them from your own pocket, to give them your bed, to give them your car, to share your money, food, shelter. From what you're tired? Everything what is doing by volunteers and by government, by local authorities, but not like if you don't want, you don't participate, you are not involved. So from what you are tired? So what means these arguments? People in more safe regions, they start to forget that there is war. They enjoy bigger quantity of internet, of electricity, of more normal stability. Their kids can go really to kindergarten, probably to school. They are not afraid of rocket attacks. So they start to forget, they start to relax. And such situations actually reunite nation again. So if people start to talk such things, that sounds crazy for me. That sounds crazy. So that's what actually he meant. If people start to be angry with something else except war and war events, that there is a chance for enemy to win. That actually was the main thesis of his speech. So that's why your statement, what about more divide versus strategies, that absolutely true. That absolutely true, and I completely agree with you. ARC, we mobilized 300,000 men 2 months ago, but we need to mobilize more because everything is going according to the plan. Kremlin. Yeah, sounds ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. If everything goes according to the plan, why you need more? Why you need more? Because you see, the amount of deleted soldiers from that side is really huge. Is really huge. We, by the way, not announced by the amounts, like by our officials. That's by war law or something. We will be announced only when the war is finished. Of course, our loss is absolutely huge. Absolutely. We understand that and realize. But due to my conversation to some people who really in the war zone and not just ordinary soldiers, but higher positions, like commanders or something like that, they say the number which is much less than good, but still, of course, every person for us absolutely precious and valuable, and we wish these victims were much less. So let them do what they want. They need to feed them, they need to give them weapon, they need to train them, to give them accommodation. So that's like seems they can get a big amount, but how to make them ready and how efficient they will be? That's the question, right? Hmm. But what Western doctors treating Putin? We're talking about traitors here or orc collaborators. Traitors, of course, of course. You think you really think Putin is being treated by Russian doctors? No. If yes, he would die. His actually original condition is really bad, really heavy, really bad and really heavy. Why do you think Danish authorities know that in March or in February, when he made the decision, he was under the influence of very strong medication against his diseases? So I believe, of course, European, some Western doctors. Yeah, but he can pay millions. Just imagine. Just imagine. So some people, I think, wouldn't mind. Tracy, get the puppy. Yeah, yeah, he's crazy. He's barking. He's like little monster. This puppy, he's little monster, really. He's so defensive. Oh my God, he's crazy. A real male. I never saw such dog who will protect his toy, his favorite toys, and me and his room. Not his room, but the room where we sleep so much from anybody who is going to enter the room at night, even cats. So he's really funny, that puppy. Gregory, this is my opinion and my opinion only. The West and NATO don't want this war to end. They are using Ukraine to fight their dream war with Russia. Probably. There are some things which we probably don't know still, some purposes. Maybe they need not to end, but to postpone, to prolong it, as we said, that they want to weaken Russia, to delete it from the scene of main global monsters, right? Actually, the Russia is main competitor, so they want to weaken it and maybe to put it a little bit aside, to make it isolated. Probably that's the reason. Difficult to tell what is truth or not, but probably. Russia became not better than North Korea. Yeah, some fat ass politician appearing to say we have the bomb, fear me, we are okay using it. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So they gonna as an example, my Russian friend, yeah, she's going to marry. She's going to marry in April. So now she is buying her dress and shoes and preparing everything for wedding right now. And I asked why. Actually, she gave guys absolutely incredible amount for the dressing gown, for this wedding gown, sorry, white dress. It's not typical for bride, right? Like with all these, but like strict style, absolutely, you know, like tight white dress, absolutely simple, nothing exotic or something. Uh, I just learned this night that she paid for that $1,200, and I was shocked. I really was shocked because um, she is moving to her house, and I asked her if she found the cargo car, which can help to bring all the luggage, all the stuff there. And she said no, because I asked that friend, I asked my cousin, I asked that, but when it comes to specific day to help me with movement, this stuff, everybody rejected. So I say, okay, just order the cargo taxi. That's not so expensive. And I know that she earns okay. Okay. She said, I don't have money. I say, what? That's not so expensive. Why you don't have money? She said, I bought the dress, wedding dress already. I said, oh my God. And for what amount you bought the dress that you don't have money? And she said, why $1,200. Mm, that was by the way, guys, for the topic, how much should a ring cost? So I would ask how much they paid for ring, which he gave her for engagement. A really nice ring, and I will check the price and tell you. But the dress was so much expensive, and I say, why so expensive and why now? Because she said, you cannot imagine, everything is getting closed here, everything is getting bankrupting. She said, in April, I absolutely won't be able to buy any brand clothes, like any brand and good qualified dress. I will get something from nearest village, like bad quality, really cheap, not nice, especially for shoes. I didn't believe, but she said, even shoes, they can be so cheap quality, which produce in actually Russia, that even can have some specific smell, you know, of bad worked out leather or too much synthetic. So she want to buy shoes, brand shoes as well right now. So here's the question: when you ask about ladies who doesn't have money for bringing stuff to new house, so a little bit difficult situation, but ready to pay $1,000 and even more for just dress whom they go in to use for one day. So here is the answer. You know, I was a little bit angry with her. I said that's not reasonable. That absolutely waste of money, especially now because of war, not only in Ukraine but war also in Russia, and the situation in Russia is absolutely bad and difficult right now. So, but she said, "Mm, I want, I want, I want." So when woman wants, she do what she wants. Not everybody, because I really couldn't understand, and I found, by the way, in internet much better, much nice and much cheaper dress for her, and I sent her, but it was too late because she said I already bought, and I said, shit, why you didn't tell me before? So that's very interesting. People really, and she wanted. By the way, she went to some Finland shop, special shop for Finland sport clothes, like jackets, sport costumes, sneakers, whatever. She said they can't now say that they are shop from Finland. They rebrand. They changed the name. They changed absolutely design. They moved to another place. And anyway, they make like 50% discount for all the stuff they are selling now, right now, because seems they won't be able to bring new stuff to sell from Finland. That's it. So she was very happy to buy a really good quality winter jacket, really warm one with a 15% sale discount, because she said next year nothing like that here. So that's the reality. That's the reality. So interesting story, yeah. Mm. Mm. Global Bloodstock, I see. You have negative opinion, not like me, about Boris Johnson. He has no authority from Britain. He is not a member of the British government. His party sacked him for his behavior. I really not too much into these details, just told my personal opinion from what I see, and from what how he tries to help us. By the way, as I understood, his attendance Kiev was private, not governmental or something private. So anyway, I have a sympathy for him. I like him, at least visually. He makes me smile, like positive. Yeah, we all have our preferences, and I'm, as a woman, not politician, just can be guided by some emotions, not by some really political speculations or calculations in my mind. So probably you are right, but I don't have any idea. Sorry. Mm. Tracy got to wonder if he's going to try to be the British Prime Minister again. I heard something like that, but not sure if that's the plan. Probably yes. Global Bloodstock. Johnson has no morals. He is like a dog who would lick his own. Okay, I got you. If he could. Guys, these details you can know more, because I'm not following Western politics so much. Arquita, never try to understand the British hairstyles, just accept it. Yeah. I understood. That's like really, really funny. I just wondering, he's not the poor person, and he actually can go to some really good barbershop, like to nice professional hairdresser. But somebody is just making his hair cut, just not by some specific style, but seems like he's making that by himself, just in the bathroom, in the morning, like tick, chick, 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 cut, okay, ready, that's it, you know. Yeah. Hmm. Okay, Global Bloodstock, I see you are angry with Boris Johnson. What? It's a circus for sure. Yeah, I guess that was about Belarusian performance, right? And Boris still in government, although he was sacked. Yeah, he is advising the current prime minister and government on Britain effort to help Ukraine. He do a lot of action behind the scene to help Ukraine. Yeah, that's what I know, because what we get information here, that what we know about his private life or something about his politics toward Great Britain people, that we don't know too much. Yeah, if we follow, but we don't have too much chances for that. But yeah, thanks Anne for explanation. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah, what? A couple of well-trained Marines will wipe them out without difficulties. Their movements so awkward, so awkward. Why make sport trainings like karate or some fight style with the music as a performance? As I said, kind of drunk capoeira. By the way, I had such familiar man. He was a husband of one of my not friends, but like we were in some company when I was younger. And whenever we have been in some party, somebody's birthday, in the forest, making BBQ, shashlik, having been at some disco, his husband was heavily drinking constantly. And every evening, every time company was gathering, he was finishing with showing us performance of capoeira. You know, drunk person who is absolutely not in capoeira. That was so funny. So that actually reminds me, this performance, Belarusian performance, remind me, and this jumping over the soldiers and shooting the gun and flag. They need girls. They need girls in bikini next to them. In this way, probably this performance would be more exciting and more, can get more attention. Really, they need girls. Like at boxing matches, you know. Mhm. And happy Sunday, Vita, and everyone. Happy Sunday to you too. Yeah. Ark. Belarus showing off their soldiers training is like North Korea level. I am seeing a pattern here. Yeah. They absolutely the style, right? Like a parade, like a parade. Not they gonna dance at the war field or what? How they will? What they will do really in the war field with this all movements? I had some funny video about, yeah, probably the guy, a Russian guy, he was training by himself at home before mobilization. Oh my god, I was laughing probably for 2 days. If I will find that video in my phone, I will share with you guys next time. Really funny, really funny. So just to have fun. Так, Global Bloodstock. Okay. When Johnson was prime minister, the rest of the UK was not allowed to mix during COVID. So prevention for spreading COVID, not bad, not bad. And he had sex parties in his offices involving staff with alcohol freely available. So he pushed somebody, he really pressed somebody to participate in those parties. You know, guys, I understand actually what you mean, Global Bloodstock. Like the representative of the power of the government should be clean and like with dignity, with principles, should be pure white. Actually, let's call it pure white. But I personally always think, even if there is authorities, they also have right for their personal life. They are not ideals, they're physical people like we, like all of us, with all disadvantages and weak sides. Of course, we are not talking about propaganding in public and demonstrating, for example, homosexuality or being homosexual. So when it's obvious, right? If you do that secretly, because you are the face of the government, the face of the country. So of course, but at the same time, even if he call prostitutes, even if he drinks, so what? So what? That does nothing with his politics and what he is doing to the country. If British people are not happy with his politics, with his politicians' views, actions, that's another story. But so what? Party with drinking, everybody does that. If he blackmailed somebody or if he forced some participants to be there to drink and to do something what is really bad and people feel offended, or got some complaints after that because he pushed, like made some psychological pressure on people, then that's another story. But if adult people get to the party and drink and had some sex there, they're just people. We all just people. Maybe I'm wrong, guys, but that's my opinion. Of course, they should behave well in public, and they shouldn't be involved in some really bad scandals or something. But even if some governmental authorities get divorced or was seen with a lover, why we should interfere into his personal life? He's just a man, the same man as all of us, milliards on this planet. He has right to have bad marriage. He has right to fall in love with somebody else. Maybe I'm not correct and you won't agree with me, but that's what actually I think. If nobody was offended, if nobody was pushed to do something and not forced to do, and if that everything what happened was voluntarily happened from all sides, mm, that doesn't mean he's bad or something. I don't know. Tell me what you think, guys, about that. Так, what? That was in the news here regularly. Yes, he received several motions for that, kept apologizing for it, but realistically, if someone is sorry, they will not let it happen again. Oh, of course. That, by the way, about this tendency, I try to explain to my younger daughter right now because she keeps telling some phrases which I don't like, and then she just say, "I'm sorry," because I taught her before that if you do something wrong, you always should say, "I'm sorry," but then it's like a repetition, like a robotic automatically. I say, I don't forgive you right now. She said, why? I said I'm sorry. I said, but that doesn't mean you're not going to repeat for what you're sorry. To say sorry means the person not just want to please somebody whom he offended, but he realized his mistake. He realized his guiltiness, that he was wrong, and he really realized that. He made kind of conclusion. And from now on, at least he will try to do his best not to repeat the same mistake. So I say, if you're not going to tell these words or phrases anymore, then say I'm sorry. If not, then better don't tell this I'm sorry. Keep doing what you do. So that's probably the same situation. Yeah, and that issues were past and everyone already move on. Yeah. Tracy, thanks for asking, Vita. I'm about the same, still coughing and congested. I told you yesterday it's time to use antibiotics because if you still feel so bad and no improvement, so time to go to doctor or probably to get some antibiotics, something stronger than just hot drinks. Maybe you have pneumonia. Who knows? You need to go to doctor. Global blood stock. Never forget. And will Ukraine move on when Russia is defeated and forced out of Ukraine? What you mean by will move on? What you mean here? Can you clarify, please, that I can answer? And I believe Ukraine will move, even it take time. Yeah, once the war properly over. Yeah, there will huge redevelopment funds to redevelopment new Ukraine. Yeah, new government, a new style of governing, uh, everything new, like from the new page. Yeah. Vincent, okay, if you are a foreigner courting ladies in other countries, they will compare you to local men. you're competing with local men. But that, again, that depends on her past experience. If you live in that country and if you have a chance to meet the lady personally, face to face, like in cafe, in maybe introduced but by some of familiar people, not via matchmaking agency, right, or on some platform online, yeah, of course they will be comparing, that's true, but that depends on what's your opinion about local men. Because if you talk to majority of women sincerely, majority, not all, almost all of them will tell that all men are bad. They are all cheating, they are all drinking, they are all non-responsible, they are all prefer to go fishing or drinking beer with friends instead of attending some concert of child, of spending romantic evening with a wife. So if you talk sincerely, almost all women will tell that. That's why actually the comparison mostly in favor of Western foreign guys. But that depends on individual story of the lady, on her experience with local men. Rebel, thank you. It's very difficult for Western men to understand the culture of dating because it seems so much different. I think Ukraine ladies need to understand this, the difference also. They understand the difference. They understand the difference. But let me give you like simple example. Was very interesting example which I found in some post of lady who lived in Denmark, and she was asking other ladies about her opinion about Danish men, specifically Danish, because she keep finding not bad, even good men. She start to date with them, and then the final story is always the same. No matter what you like, if you like what I will tell you, I'm not propaganding that that's correct, or you should adjust yourself to this philosophy. Ukrainian ladies, women, they used to be paid everything by men as much as he can. Even if we talk about good relationship, not trying to scam men. So you date, you have dates. Restaurant paid by men. Taxi paid by men. If on the way back home she decide, and that can be true, not necessarily be scamming, maybe she went to the date with you after her working day, and on the way back home she need to go shopping to buy some products because probably at home nothing to eat. So if you go with her to supermarket, deeply inside of her, she would wait from you paying for those products too. If the lady, if the woman, no matter age category, is sincere and really likes you, she will reject and she will be ashamed. But your question, can I pay for these products? Can I do you a favor? Can it be like my demonstration of my care? She would be very pleased and very glad. Honest, good woman will tell you, no, I can pay for myself. And she will do until she doesn't trust you fully. And she will pay and pay and pay and pay and pay. But if you guys decide to rent some apartment, that's common here that the man will pay for that apartment. If you invite lady to live in your rented apartment, that the story was with a Danish guy, by the way. He was renting apartment, they start dating, and then they decided to start to try to live together. He invited her to live with him in his rented apartment. And when she came there, The question comes to we split the payment. The lady who lives for a very long time in Europe, she will understand this mentality and she will be more closer to you guys in this way of thinking. But pure Ukrainian like me or any, you need me. So we just don't understand that. We can't understand that. Why the lady, why the woman, you love her. That sounds like offense. That sounds really like offense. If you guys not ready for that, and if you are not sure, just that will be either very big time period when you adjust to each other. She learned your culture and mentality, and you will understand her more. That's not typical here. Yeah, if people dating and both live separately at parents' house or renting or hostels, whatever, and then they decide to live together, to start renting together, then it's a different story, because then they can see it and say, hey, listen, maybe we try to live together, blah, 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 and that will be good chance for us to try. What about sharing payment? Because my salary is, let's say 10,000 hryvnia. So if I would give half of this, I won't have enough for food, blah, blah, blah. So, and she earned, so this agreement will be normal. But if you already live in the house, if you already live in a rented apartment, you invite her to live with you and you ask her to split the expenses, oh my God, that's the worst what you can do. That's the worst what you can do. Ukrainian ladies will always count the request to share expenses or bills or whatever as an offense, because they really think, once again, I'm talking about good Ukrainian women, not scammers, not those who try to get money from you and then to abandon you or to trick you. No, just woman who really loves you. For us, that's very offensive, because we are all dating school still. Roses, bringing back home, paying for taxi, bringing some food. If you want to go to come to some romantic dinner, she can do that too. Modern women, younger generation, or businesswoman who is rich and doesn't want, or who actually wants to show you that she's independent. She doesn't need anything from you, and she's able to do that by herself. So she doesn't need men for provision, for money, maybe only for emotions. In this case, yeah, can be. But if you plan to come for romantic dinner with her and she's gonna cook, or you gonna cook together, and you say, okay, let us do like this, you buy this and I buy this, she will be offended. She will think you're greedy, you don't love her, you are too pragmatic, and you just want kind of not business, but maybe kind of partnership with some intimacy, but there is no deep love, deep emotions, because we used to think when the man is in love, he is ready to do everything for woman. We are not talking about millions, billions, milliards, min courts, diamonds, tons of gold, or bringing her to sea cruises like every month. No, not about that. But like the man would do everything to attract her attention, to show her that he is real man, he is not greedy, he's responsible, he is ready to take all her expenses on his shoulders, because that what was real men do. That how we used to have it here in Ukraine. I mean, when I talk about good couples, of course, then people get married, and if everything is okay, they have common budget, they plan this budget. I have such couples, friends, among friends, right? So he earned on Forex online. He's spending some money on something like reconstruction of the house, some technical devices, something like that. And she is paying for house expenses and food. So he has regular expenses, he has a little bit to collect because he is buying more expensive stuff. But that's normal, people agree. But at the beginning of relationship, if you advise something like sharing payment, that would be disaster, honestly. So old dating school. Meetings, datings, nice surprises, sweets, flowers, romantic dinners, walking in the street. I'm talking about good women. Going to cinema, to movie, um, suggestion going to museum, to opera house, to theater, or whatever she likes, or going hiking maybe, whatever. But that's really difficult to understand for people with a Western mentality. But Ukrainian women like this. Some modern girls, business girls, they will have a little bit already different mentality. But still, if there is a romance between you and if she feels something to you and she expects something from you, I mean, in regard of emotions, like something more deeper than just interest or sexual interest, then she will expect not sharing bills. So take that into consideration, please. That was the answer for the question. Так, guys, so we have a little bit less than half an hour. Tristan, hello, thanks for joining. They are also mobilizing another 500,000, also Ukrainian dead 122,000, plus 35,000 presumed dead, equal 157,000 total. You mean about Ukrainian dead? No, I don't agree. I don't know from where you get this information. That's not because I want the numbers bigger and ours smaller. Not because of that. I'm an objective person. But because I talk to some people who really in military authorities and they know the real facts, who has some connections with the general counter offices, headquarters, sorry. And they told me number which is much, much, much less. And that was just a friendly conversation, not nothing like I can, because they know I will not spread this information, but I don't think the amount is the same. So you want actually to say that Ukrainians more dead soldiers than Russians? Can't be like this. I don't know from where comes these numbers, but what I know, the numbers are different. Tracy, Joe Biden and his drugged out son are in bed with some less than reputable oligarchs there and Russia and want this war to continue to cover up their own crimes. Politics, politics, politics. Yeah. Global Bloodstock, you wouldn't believe what they pay in the UK for wedding dresses. My ex-wife paid, wow, 300 pounds for her dress. Her shoes cost 400 because in paid for. Oh my God, that's a waste of money. Shock. Why not to use those money? Because all the dresses are that much expensive, or you have a choice. Goodness, for that money you can travel. You can have a very nice wedding with the closest people, with some small company, and then go into travel for honeymoon. Oh my God, what a waste of money. Global, you paid for her shoes. Thanks God you didn't pay for her dress. Shoes were cheaper. Shoes were cheaper. So actually, yeah, wedding is always expensive. Always expensive. Yeah, but that also I will tell you guys. The younger girls here, they decide they don't want actually that pompous wedding style. They prefer more, to buy something in new apartment, kind of furniture or equipment, some kitchen facilities, or even just to go for some trip. Really, that's not typical anymore to call 100 people to feed them for free, to entertain them, to get drunk, to dance, to fight, everything what is typical Soviet wedding is. Some women, of course, can be crazy about that and can show up. That depends also what kind of women you choose. Ask her at the beginning of relationship, what's your ideal image of the wedding? What kind of wedding you want? Sometimes you can be surprised. That can tell you a lot. If she wants really pompous, like limousine, ring with a diamond, and calling 150 people in the best and most expensive restaurant with all those decorations and every stuff. So be careful with that and just get ready. But maybe your lady will tell that she doesn't want any pompous party, and she would prefer maybe to have some official part, to have some nice dinner with member of the family, with some dear clothes friends, maybe 10, 15 people in some good restaurant. That's fine, okay? And then to go to some trip, romantic trip. That's the best option, I guess, instead of spending 3,000 fund for wedding dress. Goodness. And then you just use it one time. Of course, every bride want to be the best and to show the photos and to show those photos to kids and to put in Instagram or Facebook. But yeah, yeah. Wedding scenario is very important to know, guys, before you get too much into relationship. Tracy, oh, you weren't expected to pay for all of that, were you? Global Bloodstock. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, her father paid for her dress, but I said I would pay for her shoes as a gift. Just wondering, did she use those shoes after or only once for wedding? Or the shoes was that type that she can use to go into some party, to some birthdays, to maybe theater or something? Was it, I mean, were they like everyday style, casualty style, or like super extraordinary you can use only for wedding? Jacob, I agree, Vita. Girls in bikinis are always a good thing. Yeah, so we need to advise them. Put their girls, and then your performance will be much more interesting, right? At least more viewers and more likes. International health coach Jack, hello, thanks for joining. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy Sunday, Vita. Happy Sunday to you too. Have a beautiful, joyful day as much as possible. You deserve it, girl. I just arrived at church. I'm very late. Yeah, I just thought that you probably in church because I know, yeah, you're attending church. Next Sunday, I've been asked to address. Where is the second part of your address? The congregation. Okay, and give a talk. Is there anything, Vita, you wish to convey to the citizens of my country, USA? Just great, great thanks from my heart personally. I'm a very thankful person, and I think from the big, whole broken heart of the whole Ukraine. Just guys, thank you very much to all countries, to every single help, for donations, for some medical aid, for weaponry, for training soldiers, for sending blankets, generators, lanterns, food, humanitarian cargoes. for everything, for everything. Just I want just the world stay in peace and no maniacs disturb that peace and fidget that peace, making people feel that this peace is not stable and something can go wrong. So I wish to everybody just peace, health, warmth, stability, joy, and happiness. Just that people can enjoy their life, not having this stress, panic, fear, scaring, and everything. So past that, past that, if you want, if you think that appropriate. And I agree with you, Vita, about the politician private life. For Boris scenario, he done a lot of positive things when he was in government and still now. Of course, he did little issue as a normal people. Yes, that's actually, I try not to judge people too strict because I know there is nobody ideal in this world. We all have our devils in our mind and you never know. Everybody has his skeletons in the wardrobe, right? So, of course, some skeletons can be too bad. It's not like we go in to praise and to favor, to honor some really shitty stuff, bad actions, right? It's not like that. If he's like alcoholic or drug addict or beating his wife, of course, something like really bad things. But if he had some fun, and if people with him also had some fun, and that was volunteering, I mean, voluntarily, sorry, not under some force or pressure, so people decide by themselves, that's fine, I guess, if all sides are okay with that. Global bloodstock. Ordinary people were told not to mix with more than two people at the same time. He and his staff were breaking those rules. Other people received fines for meeting for coffee in a park. But at the same time, he is governmental representative. And sometimes probably he need to meet more than two people, right? Because his social position demands maybe some breaking rules. By the way, have you heard this new that your new prime minister of Great Britain, this Indian guy, Santuri, if I pronounce correctly, he got fine. You know for what? That he was in his car at the back seat, not fastening the belt, and he was shooting the video on his phone. Oh my God! So he got fine, and he said sorry, of course, and of course he will pay, I believe. But sometimes something can happen, right? That's a small, but I like law works even for prime minister for such a small mistake can get fine. Cool. And Vita, remember Boris have a young wife about 15 years younger than him. Inspirational age gap. Yes, yes, absolutely. So maybe that was her sexual dream and her request, and he wanted to please his wife. Let's think like this. Let's think positively, guys. Global Bloodstock. She even had to dye those shoes to get the right color. Oh, yeah. What was the color, by the way? White or some purple or blue or pearl or what? Tracy. Yeah, for 400 pounds, you can wear them as is. Absolutely, I agree. No matter what color and style they are, right? Yeah. In Global Bloodstock, she could use the shoes again, thankfully. Cool. Then money was wasted, not in vain. The dress was packed away and never used again. Absolutely, yeah. I think she probably sold it. Yeah, she probably sold it, but not to that amount of money because every bride want to get fresh, to get innocent dress, So it's impossible to pay the same amount for if it was dressed just once. I ordered my wedding dress at a special service, so it was sewed by model I wanted. It was really nice, and it was, by the way, purple, not white. Purple with some gold decorations, kind of gypsy style, as my mom used to say. So, guys, we have around 15 minutes with you. Global Bloodstock. I found a book to recommend. It's called "You Don't Know What War Is" by Yeva Skaletska. She was 12 and lived in Kharkiv and wrote a diary about her escape from Ukraine. Yes, I know. And I, guys, can recommend you, absolutely recommend you the book. I have it, by the way. I have it, by the way, where it is. I will show you. We have very nice Russian-speaking author, by the way. She is writing extremely touchy style, absolutely. But she's collecting the real stories. She's collecting the real stories. Even on her page, she's asking specially people from specific cities who were witnesses of something. Doesn't matter actually who survived, like in Bucha, in Kherson, in Nikolaev, in Sumy from the beginning. So she's asking to call them, and she's writing down their stories, make them a little bit no softer, no, but just like writing style. But it's a kind of diary. I absolutely recommend. For me personally, I start read, but I start crying all the time. She had part first, she had part second, and if you wait, guys, probably I can show you. Here is the book. I don't know if she has that in English. Sorry, guys. Be patient. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Plachta. Can you see? The name is Plachta, and the author is Irina Gavarucha. So actually, she has two variants, in Russian and in English. And I can ask her if she has. I'm waiting for part 2. So for now, I can't emotionally, I can't read that. But I bought those books as a symbol of this war, just for recollections, never to forget. And I'm sure I will read to my kids later, and they will read this, because that's a true story, not science fiction. True stories, real stories, just written down on the paper. I can ask her about if she has English variant, and if you can get somehow. But that's really interesting to read, and the real story. But awfully, very, 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 very sad. People who survived something really cannot read it, I mean, one by one. So need time for, for coming down. Yeah. So thanks for this reminding too about diary of this lady. Yeah. You don't know what war is. Yeah. Sorry. Sunak, sorry, yes. N. Vita, the new prime minister, known as a Rishi Sunak, he got fine. Everyone make a silly mistake. That's absolutely, that's fine. I don't even think that's a mistake. If all governmental authorities would make mistakes like this one, oh my God, I guess this world would be perfect, ideal, right? So just was interesting to see that really the prime minister got a fine. $10 guys, we have lots of women here, Tracy, in US buy insanely expensive wedding dresses and sell them back to where they bought them at a greatly reduced price. And the seller sells it again at an insanely high price. Oh my God. And Vita Boris' new wife is beautiful on my eyes for sure. I need to check. I will check, guys, to see if she is really beautiful. So the wife of Boris Johnson, because I really don't remember right now how she looks like. Mm-hmm. I see. I need to open more. Yeah, but they look strange together. They look strange together. But if they are okay together, physically and psychologically, and they are on the same page, then I just can say bravo and happy family life for ages, right? Jack, thank you, Vita. I shall use your words. Blessing to you and your family. Thanks, Jack. I am out really in chat nowadays. That's fine. I understand, guys. You are busy. Somebody attending church, somebody attending gym, somebody attending mom, or go shopping or have work. That's understandable. But anyway, I'm always happy to see all of you, because I used to have the same faces, right? I know individual style of greetings, of communication already. So we have very good society here, very nice atmosphere, talking absolutely different topics. So that's why I'm very grateful for every time, no matter if you're late or you can join for 5 minutes. That's always a pleasure for me. So don't forget about that, right? Uh, Gregory, you too. Enjoy the rest of the Sunday. Thanks for greetings. Yeah. Hmm. And Boris was divorced once. This her new. This his new wife. Boris have itchy things for sure, for sure, and for sure, I believe that. Yeah, but if he can satisfy her with this age gap and she is happy, then why not? Then they deserve happiness. I believe. I believe. So probably they participate in those parties together, and that's one of your uh, dreams or requests. So we don't know, guys. Actually, life is surprising, exciting, and has many angles, many sides. Um, of course, there are some sides which are definitely black, definitely evil, definitely bad. But for some, if that doesn't hurt anyone, doesn't offend anyone, doesn't damage anyone or anyone's life physically, mentally, psychologically, financially, then why not? Let people enjoy. That's my that's my point of view. That's my vision to the life philosophy. So, guys, I have to go, probably 5 minutes left until I have still electricity. Okay, I want to say once again, million times, thanks for everybody who found the possibility and chance. Guys, as well, don't forget about donations. Whoever has this desire and possibility and comfort due to your budget and your routine expenses, we need right now $1,471 to cover our monthly cost to run Ukraine Dating TV channel in this month. So we want to thank once again to our three top donors. Thomas Ramsey, John Zuniga, Jacob Dickerson. Don't remember that we're gonna choose the one at the end of the month, giving him special privileges, including one free session, which costs $75 with our beautiful Жанна. And also great thanks to guys like Juan Vasquez and to Nortie, JC Oiley, Kevin Irwin, Grant Smith, Carson Hicks, William Anga, Rodney Podesta, missing Rodney, where is he? Bradford Hazard, Jesse Kelly. Thanks all of you foregoing support. Whoever can donate, please do that. Who cannot, that's fine. Just give us like, subscribe to our channel, share these videos, not only mine and other girls too, between your friends, colleagues, social networks. Maybe somebody will need that information, so that will help us to grow. And of course, the bigger we are, the more chances and possibilities we have to help you guys, to give you more information, some instructions, and nice, I believe, emotions and moments spending such time together. So if you want and can donate, please do that at Magic Guarantee spelled with a y.com/donate. You can find that actually that link below this video in the description and under all the rest of our girls' videos. So guys, I see some comments. No, nothing, no more. So guys, yeah, thanks for joining today. Thanks for being with me. Thanks for your absolutely kind attention, warm emotions, your greetings. I'm very thankful for everything you do for me. So that's why I'm full of motivation to do that the same for you. For those who just joined our channel, I will share some short video about what our channel is about, that you can have an idea. That's more for fresh guys, for new guys who probably first time with us, just watching, okay? And I wish, of course, all the rest, perfect rest of the Sunday. Enjoy that, live it fully, get everything every minute can give you in all positive meanings, okay?
Hello, привет, and welcome to UkraineDating.tv. Our channel is the world's first of its kind, providing free live streaming every single day, 7 days a week with the real, genuine, beautiful Ukrainian ladies. Finally, now you have the opportunity to video chat live 7 days a week with different beautiful Ukrainian girls of all ages and walks of life. You get to ask all your deepest burning questions about all things Ukraine, Ukraine culture, Ukraine women, and Ukraine current events. And if you come to enough of our live streams, you might just discover what makes us mysterious women tick. Guys, I think you understand we're like David fighting Goliath here to bring you the truth once and for all. Our channel's purpose is to debunk the myth and stigma created by the toxic paper letter scam industry. And we hope you agree the best way to accomplish that is by giving you the opportunity to video chat with average Ukrainian girls that represent the real women of Ukraine. And then you be the judge about what's real and what's not. Guys, please know that we're doing this all for you. So do me a favor and subscribe to our new channel and help us help you, your fellow man, and help us bring Goliath to his knees. So guys, can I ask you to share this video with all your friends? Only together we can make a difference, guys.
Goodbye to everyone. Juan, I got your message. Thanks to you. Have a nice Sunday, guys. And I will be waiting for you next Friday about the time. Follow our channel, hit the bell, and you will get notification, because so far I don't know the electricity schedule, but I will try to update as early as I can. Okay? Perfect rest of this Sunday, guys. Have a nice time. Goodbye.